By now we have discussed how to create a project plan consisting of the WBS, the Gantt chart, the project budget, and the associated project risks. Now we are ready to start a new phase of project management classes relating to project execution. Planning was absolutely necessary, but is not sufficient. Execution is where you, the project manager, proves that your plan really works. Recall that execution was the longest, most resource-intensive stage. Your thorough planning helps you monitor and control the performance of your team to yield to the expected outcomes. Think of your project as a feedback system, where your project team is the system to be controlled. The current progress of your team are the system outputs. The project resources and scope are the system inputs. And you are the governor of operations as the system controller. You monitor the outputs and you compare them with your plan. If the schedule is behind or costs overrun, you correct course by reallocating resources, renegotiating, or resetting expectations. That is project control. Monitoring is your radar. You basically need to assess the outputs of the system, and in case of projects, the system outputs are the accomplishments and milestones achieved, the expenditures, and the velocity of the team executing the plan. Accomplishments are assessed by using dashboards, talking to your team members, considering progress of tasks, counting milestones completed, etc. The next step is to turn the qualitative status to clear metrics. The golden rule of feedback systems is, unless you measure something, you cannot control it. One of the ways you can measure accomplishments is to compute the earned value, EV for short. It is important to understand that EV does not relate to the time spent on the project or the expenses so far. EV is strictly associated with outcomes and accomplishments. It can be expressed either as a percentage of all necessary activities or as a dollar value of tasks completed. Typically, the EV is computed using one of the following rules. The 100 rule, where you count credit only at completion of a task. The 50-50 rule, where you count half of the credit when the task has been started and half of the credit when the task is completed. And the proportionality rule, where you count credit proportionally to the degree a task is completed. This way, we have mapped the accomplishments of the team at a particular point in time into an ambiguous metric. We now introduce a graphical method of tracking progress of projects. During the planning phase, you created a project plan including a Gantt chart and all tasks. You also created a project budget per week or per month for the duration of the project, and if you convert this budget into total expenses per week, you have created a planned value of the project, PV for short. Finally, as part of your planning, you estimated two additional items: time to completion of the project, TC for short, and the total project cost. For that, we will use the term budget at completion, BAC for short. For simplicity, we depict the planned value as a straight line extending from the time the project started to the time of completion, TC, for the given budget, BAC. Let's now say that today you are at the 80 point of time. Given the tasks in progress or tasks completed, you can compute the earned value using one of the previous methods. You add this point on the graph. In the slide, the trace over time of EV is shown in the red line. Accounting also informs you of the total project expenses as of today. This is called the actual cost, or AC for short. You also add the AC point on the graph. In the slide, the trace of the AC is shown as the green line. Now you are ready to forecast when the project will be actually completed. First, you extend the EV line until it hits the BAC. The time corresponding to this point is the new time of completion denoted as TC prime. You can compare TC prime to TC. If TC prime is to the right of TC, the project would be completed later than planned. And the reverse. If it is to the left, you are ahead of schedule. Now, once you forecasted when the project will be completed, assuming that the rate of your expenses is the same as before, you can extend the AC line until it reaches the TC prime point of time. The corresponding intersection of the vertical axis indicates the expected actual cost, or EAC for short. This geometric mapping of PV, EV, and AC allows you to forecast when the project will be completed and how much it will cost at that time. So let's wrap up. Execution is a feedback loop. Monitor, compare, adjust. Earned value links accomplishments to cost and schedule. With PV, AC, and EV together, you can forecast delays and overruns at any point of time during execution. And remember, stakeholders do not want just status updates, but evidence of successful completion. That's how you, as a project manager, can earn their trust.